Everybody, welcome to Fans Down South, the first ever broadcast. I'm Jon Miller. With me, Steve Jinks.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Fans Down South. I'm Steve Jinks. With me is Jon Miller. Yeah, we're glad to be here, man. We're excited. Been talking about this show off the air a little bit for the past several months, and excited to finally get this thing off and going.
Yeah, there's been a lot to go into trying to create something like this. So we're going to be doing a little Facebook Live video. We're going to be having our website, fansdownsouth.com, and some of you will be listening to this either by way of podcast or radio show.
That's right. If you're listening on the radio, there'll be some things probably from time to time. There'll be videos. You're going, what is going on? And that's just part of it. That's part of doing a video and radio show. But yeah, and you know, John, we'll get into later on, I guess, about what this show is all about.
Sure.
And let people know exactly what they're listening to on Fans Down South.
Yeah, well, it's going to be a college football show, and it's going to have an emphasis, of course, on Auburn and Alabama. But we're going to get into some other stuff. We'll get around the league of the SEC, and if you got something you're interested in, you can always call us 251-281-8844, and you can call and leave your comments. We got a lot of cool stuff on tap for our very first show.
Let's dive in, man.
Lots of headlines. There's going to be this class going on at one school in particular. We want to talk to you about a little bit later. It's a religion class on SEC football, believe it or not.
Oh, they've stepped over that line, haven't they?
They have. We're going to be checking in with Uncle Henry.
Speaking of crossing the line.
Yeah, crossing the line. This guy, he crosses the line with his fandom of Alabama football.
Oh, yeah.
And he's always got something interesting to say, so we'll be checking in with him
always
a little bit later. And also, we'll be talking about, even before the season starts, we'll be talking about some coaches, some head coaches that are already on the hot seat.
Oh, yeah, there's already a burner on some of those seats already, man. So we'll talk about that and get into that a little bit.
So before we get started on all of that, I want to dig into this story. This was one that popped up this past week.
Okay.
The GoDaddy Bowl right here in Mobile, Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
They just went through a big name change.
I heard about that.
You heard about this?
I did.
So there was going to be, GoDaddy was not going to renew with the bowl, and so they had to find somebody else. And so after a lot of searching, they found somebody.
Wall Street and you find them right there in the middle of it. I mean, it's like, where do you go? Do you go?
So some people said that it should be Lucky Charms because we had the Crichton Leprechaun.
That's right. That would have been good.
But no, we ended up with the Dollar General Bowl.
A Dollar General Bowl,
yeah.
Son. That's what I'm talking about. I mean,
What do you think?
If you can't bring attention to a Mobile, Alabama bowl game, then put Dollar General right there on it.
Right.
That'll bring attention to it. I like it. I like it a lot.
I'm just, and the thing is, because I live in Satsuma, I end up shopping at Dollar General at least once a week. At least once a week.
I live in Grove Hill, and there's one on every corner just about up there in Clark County. So, yeah, we love Dollar General.
But even so, it's hard to imagine a coach going into the locker room and saying, all right, guys, we had a good season. We had a solid season, and for our reward,
I want you to put your blood, sweat, and tears out there because, son, we're going in to the Dollar General Bowl this week. Yeah, it's just kind of like, where's the motivation?
It seems to be lacking a little bit of excitement, but anyway.
I guarantee you this, Dollar General's got some dollars. They even got it in their name. I mean, they're doing all right. The Dollar General Corporation, they're not hurting.
But you know what? If nothing else, maybe it'll get us a little extra attention. During the bowl season, as people are going through the list of bowls that are happening and taking place, they'll look twice.
They will. The Dollar General Bowl? Are you serious?
So we got this piece I wanted to run. I wanted to go to a Dollar General and get a little reaction from people, see what they thought. So this is a little bit of that. After this week's announcement that the GoDaddy Bowl in Mobile, Alabama would become the Dollar General Bowl, I went out to a local Dollar General store to get reaction.
Well, I think it's a good thing. I guess you could say I'm excited about it. 3 for $1, you just about can't go wrong. And I needed some new bowls, so I think it's good. I do.
While there may be some confusion about the game itself, there is nevertheless excitement about the Dollar General Bowl. So now there's another story that's going on around the SEC.
Okay.
And this is actually, it's not technically taking place in the SEC, but it involves the SEC.
Okay.
There's a school in South Carolina, Presbyterian College.
All right.
And they are offering a new class. It's called The Religion of SEC Football. And you can actually get credit for this class.
The Religion of SEC Football.
Yes.
Are they making fun?
I don't know. It's a serious class, though.
Yeah.
Let me read. This is a description.
All right.
And this is a description for the class that you can actually take and get credit for. It's a liberal arts school. And this school is actually playing Florida in football, I guess, this year.
All right.
But the description is Woo Pig Suey, Roll Tide, Go Cox. What is it about college football that turns otherwise sane people into raving lunatics? Why is it that each fall millions of people schedule their lives around SEC football, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars for RVs and tailgating for days prior to a game? Why do fans often hate another school, such as the Bama fan who poisoned 130-year-old schools?
Come on. Why you got to bring that up?
This class will attempt to answer these sorts of questions by exploring the religion of Southeastern Conference football and how each of us fit into that faith. Now, that could be a description of this show.
That's ridiculous. I like it. I wish I had that. If I'd had that class in school, man, I'd have done all right.
Yeah. Now yeah.
Could have trimmed my college years into
I could get
4 years instead of 7. It would have been nice. So, yeah, they're basically got a class on SEC football and the religion of it and how it's become a religion to some people.
I'm saying these people are weird.
They are.
What is wrong with these people?
I like them. I are one.
Steve, now you recently took a trip.
I did.
Speaking of Woo Pig.
Speaking of Suey Pig, that's right. I did, man. I was up in Arkansas. I was up in the northern Arkansas. I've been to South Arkansas several times. I got family in southern Arkansas. But I haven't been to northern Arkansas but maybe a couple of times just driving through there. And I took a trip recently and I was able to go up on the north side, up just south of Branson, Missouri. But while I was there, I decided to take a trip over to see where the Arkansas Razorbacks play football.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I took a trip over there, and it was beautiful. Fayetteville was a beautiful little town.
That's what I hear.
The campus was nice, but the stadium it's a little different because it has an open end. Mm-hmm. Auburn and Alabama have both been bowls for a while now, so it's hard to know what it was like before when they were open ended. But it's open end with a scoreboard there. It's a big, huge scoreboard. They got a statue of a pig, and yes, they do. They really do. And they got a statue of Coach Frank Boyles, and so it's really cool though, man. I got to experience the little bit of Arkansas life. It was move-in day. A lot of spirit on campus there that day. So that's the first time I've ever been there. But I got to talk to some fans there in Arkansas about their expectations, and man, they're really hopeful this year. The Arkansas fans are kind of fired up. Bielema's been there. This is his third year now, I think. And, Bielema's got quite a reputation for building up a program, and he's done that. Last year, they came so close so many times. They did.
Yeah. Well,
and help Alabama out, by the way.
It seemed like they got better as the season went on.
They did. They did. And they were always at the cusp of winning. They just couldn't quite get it done. And then that miracle play against Ole Miss. Alabama fans were screaming Suey Pig, so because that helped Alabama go on into the national championship. But it was really cool to talk with some of the fans there, and they have a lot of respect for just like other ACC fans for the other programs. They were generally nice when they saw an Alabama cap. I actually bought an Arkansas cap before I came home, cool. Just to show my support for the fact that they beat Ole Miss and helped us out a little bit. Man, it's a great place.
Yeah,
and I could not find though, John. One of the things I was looking for for that one place that to eat. Like if you go to Auburn, if you go to Auburn, what do you think of when you think about Auburn football food?
Well, unfortunately, I think of Niffers, I guess.
There you go, Niffers. Yeah, you go Niffers, or you can either go downtown to the drugstore next door to it and get the cheeseburger right there. Sure. Or if you go to Alabama, of course, there's Dreamland. There's other barbecue places that are now wings and stuff like that. I was looking for that place in Arkansas, and nobody would really tell me. The only thing I got an answer for was, Tyson Chicken is based in Arkansas. Okay. So they had several chicken places there. They was like, hey, you got to eat chicken if you come here. And I'm like, what? I only got to eat fried chicken? That's what they do.
We talk about big-time fans. Mm-hmm. Our next person that we're going to be talking to is about as big an Alabama fan as you can find.
And he's not chicken of anybody, as a matter of fact.
No.
He'll just speak his mind, no doubt.
I'll bet if you sent him to Arkansas, he could find you the premier place to eat out there.
He would. And I should have
as much as he loves bacon
I think I'll call. I think I'll try to send him up there. What do you think he'd say if I just said I'm sending you up there?
He would go.
He probably would.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I got a chance to talk with Uncle Henry, and he had several things to say about the upcoming season of
I bet he did.
Alabama football. Check it out. All right, folks, we're here with Uncle Henry from News Radio 710 and the Jag. He's an infamous Alabama fan, and we're getting ready for the season to start.
Yes.
Are you excited?
Of course. Am I excited? What kind of stupid question is that? Of course! Look, the way I'd like to live in my advanced years is I'd like for science to freeze me in the years all the different months we don't have football. So right after the Super Bowl, I would like to be frozen and then thaw me out right at the end of August so I can see college football. That way I can live longer and only be alive during football seasons. That's how much I like it.
How do you approach game day?
Well, game day, you want to get up at a decent hour. You want to get up early enough so that you can rush completion of tasks. If you have anything you need to get done, you need to get it done early in the day so that nothing will interrupt the game time experience. So that means it might mean going to the grocery store. It might, whatever chore you've got to do, interacting with your family, you rush that to completion so that you're ready for the game. Do you have special attire? Well, you wear something with the team logo on it. If you do not wear team logo, that shows you do not care about your team. You're not really a fan if you're not wearing team logo.
Let's talk for a minute. What about these people that get married during football season?
I'm so glad you brought that up. I've got a relative that is getting married this football season. And my relatives keep saying, don't forget. I'm so upset about it. I don't know that I should talk to you on your show about it. It is absolutely selfish and uncaring to get married during football season. Maybe you don't care about football, but what about the rest of us? Making us choose. I don't know that you deserve me to be there if you're going to be that horrible, that terrible to hold your wedding during football season. Why would you do that?
Okay, let me ask you this. Let's say,
no, wait a minute. Why don't you? What do you think? I'm right.
I don't like it either.
All right.
I actually, as a videographer, I do video production, and I have to do some of these weddings. I'm missing the first Saturday of football season because I have a wedding to shoot.
Okay, well, you need the money. You've got a bunch of kids. You've got a bunch of kids. All right, John Miller has no choice. He has to bite that bullet.
Yes.
He has to bite that bullet. Now, I can miss the wedding and risk hearing about it for years to come at Thanksgiving, Christmas, and other circumstances where I'm forced to see these people.
Let me ask you. Let's say Alabama's playing on CBS.
Yes.
A lot of people, they're not a big fan of Gary and Vern. Do you listen to Gary and Vern?
I do.
Or do you turn the sound down? Okay,
I do.
You do.
I think, well, number one, I'm an older American, and Vern Lundquist is like 100 years old. And I'm glad that he, as an elderly person, is still employed. He makes a lot of mistakes. He forgets what town he's in. He gets the players' names wrong. But he's an older American, and I want to support older Americans holding jobs. Just because you turn 80 doesn't mean you should step down from your job. I'm going to hold my job until I die. So I support him as an elderly person despite his lack of ability. Gary Danielson, I think he just tries. He's really trying hard. He makes you very angry, but he's not trying to make you mad. I just, because I'm involved in broadcasting, I know how hard that is. Now, you think it's easy to just sit there and say, hey, look, he threw a good pass. It's not that easy to do what they're doing. So I'm not like the millions of people. There are millions of people that have a hatred toward the CBS crew. I don't have that hatred.
Let me ask you this. Let's say, have you ever had to get rid of any memorabilia or any like attire because of a bad game or anything like that? You had a lucky a lucky shirt or something, and then there was a bad game and you had to throw it away? Or
No.
Okay.
No, of course not. No, of course not. Getting rid of memorabilia because of a bad game there's one item that I made someone throw away. Would you like to hear about it?
Yes.
I went to an Iron Bowl with a cousin of mine. And it was an Iron Bowl, one of the early ones that was held, I guess it was either late 80s or early 90s, and it was at Auburn. And my cousin went to Bear Bryant's grave, and he picked up what he said was a hickory nut that had fallen off a tree. He says, "We've got a hickory nut from Bear Bryant's grave, and we've got it here at the game with us for good luck." So we were there in Jordan-Hare Stadium, and he was holding this hickory nut. And anytime a play came up, like it's third down, Alabama's got the ball, he would have that hickory nut. He would shout out, "Rub the nut! Rub the nut! Come on, rub the nut!" And so I didn't want to mess with the mojo, so I would get involved there. And it was rubbed. I know that you're hearing this all through the game. We're there in Jordan-Hare, and there's a man screaming, "Rub the nut! Rub the nut! Rub the nut!" Well, Alabama lost. Alabama lost in horrible fashion. It was bad officiating, by the way. Bad officiating. But I made him throw the nut away. I made him throw, because I had to rub the nut. And I was very angry. I'm not a superstitious person. But when you're in the heat of the moment, you're in the heat of the moment. But I made him throw the nut away.
Any predictions for this year?
I predict that Alabama will be in the hunt. I don't know if they'll go all the way, of course, because that's difficult to do. But they'll be in the hunt, and I predict that Saban will be vastly entertaining. He will be so entertaining whether they win or lose. His press conferences will be the best thing to watch every week, no doubt about it. Way better than any other coach in the SEC.
All right. Well, anything else you want to add before we get out of here?
No.
Okay. All right. Thanks for joining us today. Well, while we've been in progress of doing the show here today, we have heard from a few fans down south.
We have, man.
We got Nancy. She just wants to say hey, and she was very complimentary of me. So thank you, Nancy.
Thank you for being complimentary of John, Nancy.
Daryl says hey from Deep South Guitars, and you know what's funny? Daryl actually has a cigar box guitar.
Okay.
That he took a wood burner and he burned the Alabama emblem on his guitar.
Nice, Daryl.
Now that's fandom right there.
That's right.
And we got a question here from Matt. He says, good afternoon. LSU has always enjoyed a huge home field advantage. How do you guys think the recent flooding in and around Baton Rouge will affect fan attendance and overall home field advantage this year?
That's a good question, Matt. Thanks for tuning in today. Listen, I think LSU, if I just had to, again, we're not really good prognosticators, but if I had to guess about the team that I think is the most underrated this year coming in, and I say underrated, I think they're ranked number 5 or something preseason.
Right.
But people just aren't giving them a whole lot of props across the board. I think LSU is that team. And you want to talk about, a place, an atmosphere that's already hostile. They're working on and working hard, and certainly God be with all those people down in Louisiana and all they're going through. I haven't been through that personally to lose all that stuff, and they're going through a lot. And there's a lot of people around our area that are helping those people out, and if you can pitch in and help out, that would certainly be great. I think LSU will take that. I think the people and the fans of Baton Rouge and that area are going to take that and roll. I really do. I think a home field advantage for LSU this year is going to be harder than normal. I think there's a lot of pride there, obviously, and they're fighting for a lot of people that are hurting.
Well, and you look at the way the team and the fans rallied around Les Miles last year when there was so much speculation towards the end of the year about his future there.
Yeah. And
they really, not only did the team turn things around, you saw fans really throwing their support behind him.
They do, and Les Miles, he's quirky, okay? He is.
He's a little quirky.
He's definitely quirky, but man, he's such a good coach as far as his players love him. And the players that have played for him, they love him. And
there's
man,
been a
they
lot
fight
of
for it.
winning over there too.
It's been a lot of winning. It's been surprising to me the people, former players on LSU that maybe didn't play for Les Miles. I'm not going to name any names, but Booger. But they just man they talk about Les Miles in a fashion sometimes that I'm like, man. And I think maybe some of those attitudes are changing some because Les Miles has paid his dues. He's been there, and I think this year is certainly they need to have a good season. I think.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to our next story, and this is kind of the last thing we're going to be talking about today. But it's a story on before the season even starts. Who is on the hot seat? And it's kind of got things arranged in different tiers. But this is according to TeamSpeedKills.com.
Okay.
But they have different tiers of
Very
teams,
reliable
and
source,
they
by the way.
actually. Well, this is actually SB Nation that runs this site, but
I was being sarcastic. I'm sorry. Sorry. I wasn't knocking the source.
We're using them,
That's
Steve.
right.
You gotta give them props. But anyway, they have the first tier. They've got Gus Malzahn, Mark Stoops, Kevin Sumlin, and Les Miles. And it says they all need to have a really good, or they really need to have a good year. And I would agree with that. I think they have the Vanderbilt coach in the next tier, but I would put him in that.
He's in the getting a little warm section.
Yeah, getting a little
Not
warm.
Not really a hot seat, but getting a little warm.
But
so
I would agree with that.
You're an Auburn fan, and you see Gus Malzahn is kind of being some pressure there this year.
I think he's under some pressure, but I do think they'll have a better year than last year, and I think he'll be able to keep his job.
Okay.
I think he should keep his job.
Les Miles in there again, like you said. I could see Mark Stoops pretty easily being in there for Kentucky. He's been there long enough to where he should be, making himself head to a pretty good bowl,
right?
And being bowl eligible and all that. Kevin Sumlin, who's had talent like crazy come through there.
Yeah,
he's had little personnel problems. But,
they've never really been able to put it together in terms of
since
competing.
Johnny Manziel has been gone, they haven't really put together a solid.
Well, they want to compete for championships, SEC championships and national championships, and they hadn't really been able to get quite to that.
And there's so much money in Texas, and there's so much money in that Texas A&M program, and there's so many boosters that make it tough. And so, he's certainly on the hot seat.
The getting a little warm second tier would be Derek Mason, Butch Jones, and Brett Bielema, which actually, I would say, even though it looks like they're improving, I would say all of these, Butch Jones and Brett Bielema, they might be in pretty much the same spot as the other guys, because I think they have to have a good season. I really think that they brought these guys in, especially Brett Bielema, with the salary that he's getting, to be on that level, and they just haven't gotten there quite yet.
I think Derek Mason is a breathing body, and they should just be tickled to death. No, I'm kidding. But I think it shouldn't be as much pressure at Vanderbilt. It's a hard place to build a program.
Right.
They did have some success a few years ago, but it's it's par for the course there. Butch Jones, he's got a lot of expectations this year. I mean, they're coming in preseason, I think 8th or something, but their preseason rank and people's expectations is a lot higher than that.
Right.
And people are really expecting.
Well, I mean, I think the thing is, though, they're not. I just don't think the fans are going to hang on that much longer in terms of, you lose every year to Florida, you lose every year to Alabama.
That's exactly right.
And
Butch Jones
something's got to
under
change
some pressure
there
this year. I agree.
Yeah.
And then, of course, like you said, Bielema. I think Bielema is going to be in pretty good shape.
And then the rest of these guys are they say probably fine or new. So
they got Hugh Freeze down there on the list. I'm telling you, if Hugh Freeze, with all the stuff that's gone on at Ole Miss over in the offseason, he's certainly. I think he's okay. But
in terms of wins and losses, they're doing really good. But it's one of those things where there's certain things that you don't want your program to get attention for that they've been getting attention for. And so anyway, that pretty much wraps up our show. But we do want to remind you guys to tune in every week. Fans Down South, you can check us out online at fansdownsouth.com. We also have a phone number that you can call anytime, 251-281-8844, and you can leave your comments for us.
Hey, please do that, because if we like your comments and it's something entertaining, we're certainly going to put it on the show. That's what this is all about, is getting you, the fan, involved in our show at Fans Down South.
Well, anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in, and look, we got a comment from Pat Greenwood, local celebrity.
All right,
That's
what's up,
really
Pat?
cool. Hey, Pat. And we're looking forward to seeing the Jags this year, too.
We are looking forward to the Jags.
So maybe we'll get a chance to talk with Pat at some point.
That'd be great.
But anyway, we will see you guys next time. Thanks for tuning in.
Big stop.